an opportunity that we can't pass on.
Okay.
E ngā mana, e ngā reo, rauranga tirama, nau piki mai, nau kake mai ki te kāinga hākina kina o ngā rangatahi, tēnei te mihi atu. Ngā mate haere, tātou ngā waihotanga o rātou mā, tēnā koutou katoa, nau mai e te iwi ki tēnei whakapāhotanga. E ki ana ko te CNI Central North Island, whakataetai whutupōro kura tuarua, e whakatairanga ana i ngā rangatahi, e tākoro whutupōro ana, mai te puku. O te ika Māui, māua ko Dale Husband tēnei, e mihi nei kia koutou, ko tūhono mai nei ki tēnei whakapāhotanga. Ki tēnei o ngā papatākaro, e ki ana ko St John's, no roto mai i a here taunga. E whai wāhi atu ana kia Kamuriti, St Peter's College, mai i a Waikato. Tēnei te mihi atu kia koutou, tēnā koutou.
Kia ora te whānau nei rā te mihi kia koutou. It's a wonderful opportunity to be broadcasting once again the CNI First 15 Rugby for 2026. And today's action coming from Heretaunga, and once again be working alongside you, Moiho. Really looking forward to the action here this afternoon. You never quite know where we're going to unearth the champions of tomorrow, but the main thing is that these two teams work hard for each other today. Bit of an overcast day in Heretaunga, hosting this CNI championship match, and of course all vying for the Tane Randall Cup. The former All Black captain, of course, from Heretaunga, and played his secondary school sport in Hastings. Here's the lineup for St John's today. It'll be Bothma, Dane Smith, looking to Isaac Tawhaiti, and on the sides, Smith and Lowe. Big Manaia Hokianga Whaalele, it will be the number 8 today, and steering them around, Jesse Bartlett with Corbin Pui. Keep your eye out too for Kurt Share in jersey number 15. Big bench for Aaron Good, the coach of the St John's Hastings First 15.
Ai, te rāwiki whai wāhi atu ana te kapa St John's nei kia Feilding High School, unfortunately going down by 16 points to 12. St Peter's, on the other hand, had a game up against Whanganui on the 9th of May. They went up 49-5, so some quite lopsided results last week, but we hope that today's going to be an awesome clash. We've got a beauty on our hands as Hawke's Bay Pride meets Waikato Power.
They come, the visitors from the Waikato. Of course, such pride in the Central North Island schools, and wonderful to have an opportunity to celebrate their efforts live here on Whakaata Māori through our Māori Plus platform, and a warm welcome to you as well today. Here's the lineup for St Peter's out of Cambridge, with Ollie Harvey and Cooper Moore in the engine room, the front row. Hooking today is Zamet. We've got on the side George Edwards-Heaney teaming up with James Powell and Kobe Trey Ross, their number 8 today. Keep your eye out too for Joey Lang and Luca Miller. Lockie Finlay's wide out, as is Brandon Parker, and looking forward to the bench being interwoven as well through the course of the day. Their coach is Carl Perry.
Mehe me tahi anō koutou ka piri mai e hoa māko ngā kapa tuangahuru. O te whakataitai nei ko Feilding High School, Francis Douglas Memorial College, Lindisfarne College, Matamata College, St John's College of Hastings and of Hamilton. I might add St Paul's Collegiate School, St Peter's College, and Wesley and Whanganui Collegiate School. So Wesley, just over the Bombays there, part of this Te Puku o Te Ika whakataitai, as the seniors of each kapa lay their pōtai.
It's such a wonderful tradition here with these proud kura from across the Central North Island, and wonderful that the parents and school communities are allowing their young men's action to be televised, and again an ongoing commitment by Whakata Māori to celebrate Rangatahi sport. Here's the haka. Kia ora te whānau, that haka put together by Paul Bork with his advice from his late dad. Paul Blake, a teacher, Māori teacher at St John's for many years, also went on to play 100 games for the Hawke's Bay. And of course, the haka competition at the Kura is very hotly contested. When these young men carry the knowledge of that haka, it's performed literally all over the world, 21st, weddings, you know how it rolls. Once you've got it in you, you've got it in you for life. Wonderful to be with you here this afternoon, and looking forward to this clash. As Moiho mentioned, Heretaunga and Waikato, the speed, the power of first 15 rugby, and it will be St Peter's, the visitors, who will get us underway, running from right to left.
Well, we've got a battle on our hands, Tato Ma. Our boys from St Peter's are rocking the blue and dark blue kits, and the home side in the maroon and blue.
And they've got first dibs with the ball here. St John's. Just a settling in period here as Ollie Harvey goes down. First kick of the afternoon. It's turned into a good one, but well fielded here by St Peter's. Their first touch of the football. They'll just try and keep discipline early, although they are pretty anxious, and wide this time with a beautiful run out wide. This is Cruz Muller. Midfield position here. Nice start for the visitors from Cambridge. Held up nicely at the back here by the boys from Heretaunga. Joey Lang feeding up. There's a knock on there, so the referee will call it back here. But a good start, entertaining start to the exchanges here early in the match. With just a minute gone.
Ia, te tohu tera o te rangatahi. Ne, harei te mea ka makarauna. E nei kai tākaro. Straight in, out to the backs. That's the strong run there from Cruz Mara. Piki mihi kia koutou, e tūhono mai nei. Ka tau te nonoke i nāia nei tōna rua te kaumā rua mita te tawhiti i te rārangi piro a Hastings.
Yeah, both teams, understandably, just a little bit nervous as they come into their weekend matches. They know what's at stake, but there's certainly plenty of skill in both squads that we'll get to enjoy through the course of the afternoon. So here is the scrum being packed down. Referee standing like a sentinel there, making sure it's all done properly if it's peeled off the back here. But that ball has gone down as well. There's a great opportunity for St Peter's, who have the football and scrambling for it. The push on it, nice little scoop and pick up as well by Edwards Heaney, keeping it alive, this time through Harvey. Good work as Lang delivers out wide. trying to create some space down the left edge. Wesley going to ground though now, and it will be again a penalty for St Peter's. Working hard to get the work done. Here is Joey Lang, gets it across on the far side of the field. Flanker gets hold of the ball and takes it in nicely. Edward Heaney, Lang, short side. Runner down the outside there, and the dive for the line looks successful. An early start here, and a good start too for St Peter's. I'm picking next to 14, Brandon Parker. Hang on, let's have another look. We'll wait for the big fella to turn around or get his number. Citing some of these young lads for the first time ourselves as well, but nice structured play and a great start here for the visitors.
Yeah, first time they went to the right-hand edge, the danger side looked like it was on the left-hand flank with Cruz. Mara certainly wants to keep an eye out. It's either Cameron Moore's, Dale, number 4, or 14, Brandon Parker, in with the first try from St Peter's.
Just judging by his height, you'd pick it to be the former. He's a tall, strapping young guy. So St Peter's off to a good start. And really, they've been nicely ambitious as well as they've worked it from both sides of the field. Young Lang is using his nous and steering the ship nicely. A difficult conversion here to get things underway for St Peter's. But some good physical play to get us started here. And that one's just drifted across the face of the uprights. 5-0 scoreline. You're watching the CNI. Flanker gets hold of the ball and takes it in nicely. Edward Heaney, Lang, short side. Runner down the outside there, and the dive for the line looks successful. An early start here, and a good start too for... Still didn't quite pick up on the number. Hey, a warm welcome to the mums and dads of these young guys, all your connections as well. It's problematic being able to get through and watch all the games, but here at Whakata Māori and Māori Plus, I'm just really pleased to be able to bring some of the action here each week from our rangatahi sport. So now it's the home team, St John's, who have the ball as a fullback, takes it in the air. Kurt Schade with the football, putting into the big men. You know, the engine room is where all the momentum is established. And St Peter's celebrating in the fact that there is a penalty with the big number 4's with the headgear on, so assuming it was
14 there.
Yeah, the right wing. We'll pick that up through the course of the afternoon. As I say, very overcast down in Hiratonga today. St Peter's School, very large independent Anglican school out of Cambridge, established back in 1936.
Yeah, certainly one of Waikato's leading rugby schools, Dale. They compete regularly against Waikato and Bay of Plenty opposition.
Yeah, they would too, yeah. Here we are again, so able to just set the stage once again. The grind through the middle as Lang calls for the ball, gets it, there's forwards, quite rightly. Take his lead, wide ball. Good start too. That's the hooker who's ranging out wide. This is good play from St Peter's. They're getting themselves into position here to mount another challenge. The big number 8 gets hold of the football. He rolls his way forward too. This is danger time here for St John's College, and the prop forward is surged forward to the line. Cooper Moore is into school for St Peter's, and 2 quick tries after 6 minutes. What a start it is for the boys from Cambridge. Here to mount another challenge. The big number.
As we have another look at the replay, Tātou Mā, that was te namawaru, te hiku o te nonoke, nāna te MΑORI me ki, o te piro, Kobe Trey Ross tera. And a simple pick and go mai te tihi o ngā paumua matua ara ko Cooper Moore. It's going to be difficult for the hometown to stop this wave of attack.
Well, they haven't had any ball as well, so once they do get it, it'd be wise to use the punts and get downfield al pronto, because they're really being put under pressure. But it's been some good lead-up work and some ambitious lateral play that has created the opportunities here for St Peter's. And their coach will be pretty pleased with the way things have started, Carl Perry.
They love to play with width and tempo, the boys from Waikato.
Jack Calcino with the conversion attempt. This one raising the flag. So a great start here for St. Peter's. And wonderful to have you with us, of course, Māori Plus and the supporters. Really just trying to encourage us not to just relax with involvement in sport. After our teens, there is a drop-off in participation across many codes just off the back of high school years. So part of the Māori Active strategy is to keep people involved in sport. And again, now, at the moment, confidence is sky high here for the boys from Waikato. And again, working the magic. Cameron Moores continues to impress. Lang gets the ball out, and Luca Miller sends it wide. The bounce is favourable. Well, this is the 14, so quite obviously that wasn't the try scorer from the first try. We'll stay with him, though, as Brandon Parker takes a good little run. Lang again, look at them set deep and wide. Troublesome here for St. John's, are really under the pump here at the moment.
Yeah, it's really important that the St. John's boys dig deep. I've been impressed with some of the lines that the St. Peter's backline is running.
Very much so. Again, it's Lang. This time he works it through Cruz Mara. And they are just all over this. The Blues, at the moment, St. John's, they're going to have to work really hard as once again Moore has a solid input. Holding up the ball. Good tackle in the end across from Manai Hokinga Whaalele. But another penalty will make life even more problematic for the hosts.
Hei aha pia te whana tautoko. Ka kiki te pauro ki te kokona. Ka waiho mā te rarangi o waho. E tutuki I ngā mahi. Kicking to the corners, looking for some line-out set piece. And the ball kept in. Nicely there by St. John's.
They need to get hold of the football. They've had precious pill at the moment. And look at the St. Peter's forwards coming in, trying to do the muscle work, dragging their opponents, the host team, out into touch. Play on. And still with the football is the number 10, slicing it. The referee's just consulting with the touch judge at the moment. I think we'll be drawn
back to the line out, Dale. I feel that when the defender was, yes, correct, lifted, there was also some stripping action. Mai titihi ringa whānako. First line out of our match, 10 minutes in. 35-minute halves here in the CNI.
Thank you, Moiho. So with the football, and for the first time, really, Atohone, you have the football, and another penalty for not letting go as well. Manaya is penalised there. So Joey Lang will come straight in. He's got a plan, no doubt.
Good work there by James Powell, the blindside flanker. On his
Miller,
feet.
tap. And rolling it out to the right-hand side. Setting it up through the middle here. Just maintaining the momentum that they established early on with tries in the second and 7th minute. Back again to Ollie Harvey, who has the ball. And St. John's working hard to defend. But it's tough times for them at the moment. Ball back on the inside as the fullback chimes in. Gets it away. Desperate defence from Ezekiel Lowe. This is good play from St. Peter's. They're really asking some questions here, the St. John defence, but they're muscling up at the moment. They can ill afford to concede another try. Rolling his sleeves up as Cooper Moore once again lays it back nicely as Lang sends it on. It's an intercept. It is taken by St. John's. They come up towards the halfway line. What a brutal carry. And really encouraging his teammates.
Yeah, very impressed with the defence there too. The first tackle by Mapestone, and then the big open side prop took on the blind side prop with Tom Bothma and Cooper Moore.
This is really up Mivea. Takes it across the halfway line. Now Hastings need to think carefully about their field position and how they utilise possession here at the moment as they rumble their way forward and into St. Peter's half. Down the left edge they come and having a look. That ball has gone right. And it's picked up by the fullback, Kurt Charlotte. The referee will come back and reset it here. And an opportunity for St John's. And a little bit of breathing space, which is so vital for them. They've been under the pump right from the get-go.
Ara, koe nei te wā tuatahi, kua puta a here taunga I tō rātou hawhe. Ana ko takauma toru miniti te roanga. First time out of their own half.
No real displays of wind, an overcast day as we have touched on. But there's no real advantage I can sense. I'm just looking at the trees. Can you see the wind in the trees and the effect it's having there, Moiho? Well, come.
Kao, tū teko ana ngā rākau rā.
All right, it's St John's. Now's an important time for them. They've got to keep their heads. The tap back. St Peter's come up with it. No, it's claimed here. Jai Smith comes through forcefully, urgently, and gets hold of the football through the hands. Jesse Bartlett in 9 today. We've got some numbers down the left edge as the fullback chimes in. The pass is a half volley pickup and nicely done by Wade Howes, who has the ball now. Lays it back nicely here. St John's with the best opportunity that they have had so far. And they come rolling forward. Good run this time from Tane Smith. The ball is out. Lovely play here. And a terrific front-on defensive piece of work right in front of the sticks on the 22. Back it comes here to Viliami Ver. Ver, solid. Exactly what you'd want your prop forward to do. To the number 8. He too gets a loose hand. Works it across to Tom Brovner. Good play here for St John's. Setting it up nicely. To the back once again it comes. Amalaya Hokianga. Failele with the football. Taj Gonton with the run. Taj Gordon. Bartlett. Again, asking his forwards just to keep it solid and to utilise the pill and to get some phases on top of each other as Tane Smith once again takes the run. But St Peter's, well, they're a no-nonsense outfit at the moment. They continue to be there for each other as we work down the short side. Nice little run here from Smith again. He'll set it up. And St John's starting to feel that if they can hold on and maintain possession, that they're certainly giving themselves every chance of being able to capitalise on this field position.
Certainly building phases, Dale. However, kei te hoki whakamuri tonu a Hastings. Sustained pressure in defence from St Peter's. It's really important to see if St John's can convert this possession.
That was Tawhaiti who set it up. Nice darting little run from Bartlett. And still in possession. This is good play, sustained play from Corbin Pui. Also gets his hands on the football. Not in a hurry, but they are very focused with their work at the moment. That'll please Aaron Good after conceding 2 early tries. St John's with the ball, and again, Ver.
It's obviously proving difficult to go through the middle as the half thinks otherwise.
Bartlett, again, that ball's gone loose, but it's been scooped up again. St John's still in possession, and the boys from St Peter's have been working hard and effectively, although this time it will maintain or be maintained in the hands of the home team. And there's the penalty, great field position, but definitely the result of sustained pressure, and that will please the coach and no doubt the team as well, as they realise that they can go phase after phase. Good run here from Ezekiel Lowe. St John's want to come away from this end of the field with some points. Bartlett sends it on, getting the ball wide. Beautiful little pass to the fullback who steps back on the inside, but the defensive effort from St Peter's equal to the challenge as well. Kurt Charlie got so very close. Once again, we're seeing Viliami Ver with the football, lays it back nicely. Here's a great opportunity. Close to the line. Close to the line now, St John's, desperately wanting to get across and get that 5-pointer, get themselves back into the game. Down by 12 here in this CNI clash. Coming at you live on Whakata Māori. St Peter's School out of Cambridge. St John's out of Hastings. That's what's in front of them. The boys muscle up. But St Peter's with some serious defence as Cruz Mutter gets in to cover up. Thinking of which way he wants to go now, Bartlett. There's plenty of looking. The ball is there. The referee is saying use it or lose it. And there's the dive towards the line. And it is indeed credited to St John's. And we're picking that it's the number 6 who was across the line, Jai Smith. But what a reward for sustained pressure. Cruz Mara gets in to cover up, thinking of which way he wants.
Kei te rongo I te reka o te rarangi piro. Ana.
Te pai?
He piro.
He Cruz?
Tūturu nei.
Eh? Cruising?
For sure. Great response from St John's, the hometown school.
Cruz Mara. Just looking for the conversion attempt there. Hey, there's been some really good action here. Kia ora te whānau. Kia ora o koutou manakitangi o koutou tautoko. O te kaupapa o te rā. Wonderful to have you with us here as we celebrate rangatahi sport. Not just once, not just twice, but all the time across whakata Māori. Here's the number 10. Corbin, Pui steadies himself. Strapped heavily down that right leg. Hits it, looks sweet. And it splits the cow horns, as the saying goes. Another couple of points here. And St John's bringing themselves back well and truly into the game. It was a deadly lead up for them. And a just reward for the sustained pressure they applied to St Peter's, who started off really well. And now the host team, St John's College out of Heretaunga, are back in the mix. Coming up to 19 minutes of play here, CNI First 15 Rugby. That kickoff has been touched by Hastings, so it's still play on. The referee will come back. In fact, it's still good to go. Again, for St John's to just steady it through the middle and a penalty for them.
Hamene tua rua tēnei. Kua huri te tai e tatau mā. Te tīmatatanga ko te MΑORI kei te tuara o hato petera o Waikato. Nā wai ka huri ki te haukainga.
Yeah, it's a crucial period in the game too. I know that the ebb and flow and the momentum shifts in sport need to be noted, but this way, sort of midway through the half, you know, and we witnessed some sustained pressure near the line, which came up with results. So it's important that they recognise just how crucial these passages of play are. With ball in hand, host team, St John send it through, and again St Peter's profit by good line-out skills. They have the ball. Lovely work again from Cameron Moores, who's having a decent old run here this afternoon. Through the middle. They don't need to hurry either. St Peter's very keen to get the ball wide, and a scything run too from the fullback, who takes it through with pace. Really impressive run that time from Jack Calcino. I hope we're pronouncing his name reasonably well. It's spelled C-A-L-C-I-N-A-I. Your thoughts, Moiho?
I just call him the number 15 or the Furupeke.
The Furupeke.
Furupeke, it's nice to see him in full stride.
Yeah, he does. He hits it nicely, doesn't he? Upright sort of stance in his running style. And tough to catch. You know, wonderful, wonderful solo effort. Although the work there by the number 4 Moores in the line out to secure the football
sure.
really set it up. And it was impressive to see them want to go wide. Here's the young man in question. You know, there's not so many C's you see in surnames, but often in rugby, when I see them, I assume the guys are Fijian, because in Fijian, with that C, it's pronounced almost like a TH, but without knowing Jack. We'll just roll with the C's. If we've got it wrong, Mum, Dad, no offence meant. Young fella's playing well. Let's see how he hits that one. It's always going to be tough as the autumn leaves fall to the ground in the background. We've had some chilly days across the country of recent times, but weather holding up. Let's have another look at how this one came. See, that cutout ball was deadly, and this scything run paid dividends out wide.
Yeah, just a mismatch there. Caught the ball on the overs line. Well done there from Jack.
You having a go this time?
No, straight up against his opposite.
Jack the fully packy.
13.
Right, so here's the kick taking it to back. That's Kurt Charlotte. What I do like about these young guys is they get hold of the football and they're not going to muck around. Although the try did come for St John's by keeping it in close and tight. But hey, they're young, they're flamboyant, and they want to see the ball through the air. And for that reason, it makes for entertaining rugby.
100%. I'm sure St John's of Hastings are real stoked to be able to bring Whakata Māori, Māori Plus to the kura and host St Peter's College. Manuhiri's come prepared. Ai tēnei rā.
Right. Well, there's been some slick passing in the open spaces, haven't there? And willing to spread the ball wide. So it's back with St John. This is a nice carry as well as Jesse Bartlett gets themselves set. The boys come in to back up, and there's a hand almost involved in an intercept. That was George Edwards-Heaney playing on the side of the scrum, charge down, but they're straight into the hands here of a St John's teammate. That's the halfway line that they've just gone across. Bartlett again there. He's contributed well, Biliami there. Holding the pass to, it's a wise move. The defensive line from St Peter's is sound. Challenges through the middle, but counteracted by good defence. This time it's Tane Smith who will take it. Bartlett decides to go to the left. Awkward to kick on the right foot in that situation, but look at this hole open up and the run here. Beautiful movement from Luca Miller. And he just gasses it straight through and under the black dot. Wonderful play from the first 5.
Ai, ko ia te topotahi, e pohe he noku ko ia ke te furupeke. Ara, tirohia tātou mā. Kiki, engari kei reira ke a topatahi. True speed. Wai, para huti, kupai, lale.
Oh, well, quite enough. I quite agree with that, but I'll tell you what, it certainly looked good, didn't it? Straight through the middle. Straight through the gap, lovely footwork as well, but the acceleration burst was absolutely electric. So, wonderful skills, and again, on show, this talented fullback. We've seen some beauty tries. That's try number 4 here for St Peter's School. Here's the 7 through 13 students. St Peter's, Cambridge. Many of our Christian schools through the central North Island and involved in the city. Of course, Cambridge, just a short drive from Kirikiri to Hamilton as we get another look at that opportunist run. But a clean pair of heels for Luca Miller. And despite the efforts of Kurt Charlotte, who was shadowing him, couldn't get to him. And 7 points. Ultimately, the result 24-7, 25 gone. You're watching the CNI on Whakata Māori. That's opened up, and he's holding up the pass beautifully. And then George Edwards-Heaney gets hold of the ball. Well, the big man probably couldn't understand how he found himself in space, but he did everything right. He didn't panic, he waited, he held the pass, he popped that pass. And of course, ultimately, the benefactor was Edwards-Heaney. Let's get another look at this one.
Wow. Oh, where? Puta mai te whai I te ao marama. Not too sure how he got out of the ruck there, but found himself in open territory, open pastures, and held the ball with 2 hands.
Well, it'll be a bit demoralising now for the host team to have conceded those 2 quick tries. For a moment there, they felt they were just getting themselves back into the game. But really, you've just got to seize the opportunities when they come. And of course, playing, as I mentioned, at the start of today's game for the Tane Randall Trophy. We might even be able to look back and see the winners of previous years. Last year, it was Feilding High School. Didn't they do well across in Japan? And this one from wide out. Is it going to curve it around? And it raises the flags too, right from the corner. So again, some great kicking skills And we take a hand off to Jack Kautinai.
Just have another look here as to, oh, I see. So he got tackled. He got up and released the ball, Dale. That's number 17. Titi o ngā kairiwhi kua kake mai te whira.
Joshua Okuso.
Tips it off to his open side flanker, friend or colleague there, and George Edwards Heaney. Heaney had pace.
We've seen a couple of really quick tries as well. The first of them too from Luca Miller. And now St John's get hold of the football. What can they do now that they have it? Take a while for their teammates to come around. They're there now. St John's, coached by Aaron Good. Once again, Viliami Vea gets hold of the ball. Is almost a half opportunity, just looking for a gap to open. It didn't quite get there. Bartlett. This time, Tom Bothma. St John's with the ball. They're looking down the short side. The defence here from St Peter's is pretty strong. And wrapping up Jai Smith. Bartlett. Yeah, again. I would think so. Great to have you with us here at Whakata Māori. 31 points to 7. It is a big scoreline. And a credit to St Peter's, who once again have managed to wrestle the ball away from their opponents. There's an intercept run, and it should ultimately pay dividends as well. The charge towards the line and wrapping it up with a dive is Tafia Benedetto. That's right, coming out of nowhere. But again, lifting the spirits of his teammates with that intercept. Long range intercept. Let's get another look at it.
Ana, tirohia tatou mā. Ai. Rawe, tana pānui I te kēmu. Me te hū peke peke. Te kaumā whā. Parirau matau o te kapa o here taunga. Crucial try. I mua no atu I te tangi o te pūtātara. With 5 minutes to go. Trial plays 31 at the moment.
Well, it's a big scoreline too, and they're just going to have to shore up their defensive efforts. I mean, teams have come back from worse, I know that. It's going to take a Herculean effort to get the 2 points here this afternoon from St John's. But they're putting a bit of mana into the scoreline, and that was well read there by Tafia Penetito. Let's get another look. You can see him sensing the opportunity, almost into the hands of Cruz Mara. And then Cruz did well to chase down Penetito, but couldn't quite get to him, and the obligatory dive as well. Right under the crossbar.
Could have went either way, Dale, if he wasn't able to pick off that intercept. There was a two-man overlap on his edge, so congratulations to the young man.
Well, that was really well secured for St Peter's after the kickoff. And now they get themselves into strong attacking territory as well. Just using their skills at the moment. Confidence will be high for the boys in blue. Almost emerging out of the pack, and the referee was in there. A little bit of a knock on. I'm picking it'll be St John's feed here, and that is the case. A little bit of breathing space for the home team.
Yeah, St Peter's love to play with width and tempo. A side that likes to move the ball as well, and the ability to test their defensive systems is crazy. Cambridge certainly produced some outstanding athletes.
Yeah, for sure.
And horses.
Well, say no more about the horses. Yeah, you got that one right. Wonderful to be working alongside our son today, and you know, in life you don't get too many opportunities.
Oh, it's very special
like that for sure. You know,
like to also acknowledge the couple that are standing at the Tāmaki Regionals.
Sure, yeah.
Yep,
right around the country, the kapaka, so hotly contested. Just like competitions like this. Here they come again. St Peter's with the football. St Peter's and Cambridge are proud kura. And their rugby history and community likewise. They've got themselves well set, 31 points to 14. Miller and Moores with a couple of great tries early on. Scything runs from the fullback. Beautiful cut through from the first 5. And a couple of tries as well for the home team. Decent ones also. So St John's have the football and just trying to create an opportunity as Bartlett. He's held up. This is going to be tough here as St Peter's look to secure the football. No, it will come back to the home team. Atohone have the ball now. They need to maintain possession. Single-minded focus as this ball comes down the right edge. Beautiful little skip run, spinning effort as well. Back on the inside to Hokianga Whaelele. Bartlett. Here they come. The boys from St John's. 10 metres inside enemy territory. Here's the kick. Where's the chase? Everyone goes high. Well taken too. St John's coming in numbers initially as well from Jonty Cotter is there in jersey number 13 and working hard on the far side of the field. A few replacements in the mix as well as Xavier Martin, who is there in 19 for St John's, but it will be Atopeta. We have the football. And St Peter's will get hold of possession here. 31 points to 14. Just a couple of minutes out from the half-time break. Entertaining, free-flowing, and once again chiming in with that super speed and skill is the talents of Jack Kaltsinai.
Mahi mahunga tērā, ara, hei aha te kiki I te pauro, I riru I a rātou he hāmene. Smart plays with the quick tap. They got a penalty advantage for an offside player, as we see once again the quick tap and just the line running. Short ball.
Beautiful short ball. And then it just opens up.
Araske te Furupeke. Quick tap caught him out of position. No one home.
Well, there is the halftime hooter and a solid showing here from the visitors to Heretaunga. A pleasure to have you with us today. We'll take the break. St Peter's out of Cambridge, their first 15 here in the CNI Championship, and it's week 3 up against St John's and Hastings. We go to the break. St Peter's 38, St John's 14.
You might know us as rugby players.
Or that out-the-gate couple that pop up on your socials.
But what you might not know, holy shit, we're about to have a baby. We need help.
You need help, I'm alright.
Sheree and Gillies ki Māori Plus me whakaata Māori.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through tough times.
The forest should never have been taken off this steep hill country that's eroding, and it makes absolute sense to afforest those hills. What we're doing here is using the exotics to help that process get established. We're looking at a managed transition process where those pines are progressively thinned as the native understory establishes. We're trying to do several things here. Soak up carbon, establish native forest, and we're trying to improve biodiversity. You're achieving an awful lot with one program of activity.
What makes selling with Bailey's altogether better? It's the energy we bring to every home we sell. Enhancing and lifting the energy of your home to achieve the best possible result. Because when the energy is right, you can feel it. Bailey's, altogether better.
Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
I've been waiting for the right time. I'm just fine, and I'm finding the greener grass a little song. It is yours, it is mine.
Kei te ngaro haere au ki roto ki tēnei ao Pākehā.
Ko tā te waka ma he whakakaha I taku hononga ki te ao Māori.
Ka whaitake aku whia ko Pauri hei whakamana I taku ana mata.
Mātō Raurau ki MāORI Plus.
The best kind of people I want to interview are the ones that have got something really significant to say.
The new season of award-winning current affairs.
It's really about having a conversation and listening.
Te ao with Moana ki MāORI Plus me whakaata Māori.
Stefano, look who's in the house.
From the park to the city, stories told our way. Quick scroll, one tap, ka mau, kua uru mai koe.
Hey, tēnā koe.
Tō mātou reo.
Kia au te manoarere, kia au.
Tō mātou tuku hohe.
So a lot of eggplant emojis there, my
Tō
friend.
mātou tirohanga. Stream it, cast it, carry it with you. Download MāORI Plus on your devices.
Hoki mai anō tātou mā ki tēnei whakapāhotanga ki runga I a whakaata Māori. Nau mai hoki mai ki te kāinga hākinakina o ngā rangatahi. He nei rā ko te whutupōro uni ana te momo. Ana ko hato petara kia hato hone. Ko ngā kaute I te wehenga tuatahi ko te toru te kaumā waru ki te kaumā whā. Certainly been a physical contest, Dale. Which team's winning the territory battle? Certainly St Peter's.
Yeah, well, there are a couple of breakdowns that resulted in the fullback from St Peter's, 2 tries that were runaways as well. So they've been creating opportunities. And while the scoreline will look pretty ominous for the boys from the home team, St John's, you know, what they're trying to do is just establish the cohesion within the group that will hold them in good stead going forward into the competition. So they really need to have the mindset that we're starting off at 0-0. And if they can work harder for each other in this second half, their coach, Aaron Good, will be satisfied with what has been achieved today. On the other hand, Carl Perry from St Peter's, he'll be well pleased with their scoreline here and the way that they've combined some great effort from Joey Lang. Luca Miller's chimed in really nicely. Jack at the back, pretty slick as well. Here's some of the stats from that first half performance.
Te nuinga o ngā raraunga e whakamana ana I te rangatiratanga o te kapa o Hato Petara no Waikato, 67% of possession and territory over the 60s as well. Look at the number of line breaks, Dale, 7-3. And I've been really impressed with the way they've been working their lineouts, picking off the other team's throw-ins as well. And so St Peter's got the goods, but yeah, they're not dying without a fight. Certainly the hometown, and an example of a few intercepts, prove that.
I think you touched on it as well in the lead into the today's coverage here, Moiho, talking about some of the blowout scores from last week. It's still very early in the season, but you haven't got a lot of time to get the rhythm and the discipline and the cohesion that you're going to need if you're going to go deep into the competition. So while it can be perhaps understood in these early matches in the comp, you know, it's going to take some work to get them right on song. So this is Corbin Pui, who's going to get us underway here for the home team. Either way, you know, team's got to be satisfied with their work and with each other, just as the school rugby communities are as well. Everyone's trying their best, but at the moment, just a little bit more cohesion and rhythm, I guess, from the boys in blue. I mean, they had scored after just 1 minute, and then we're up plenty. And again, threatening here as the kick is a smart one as well. The chase is on as the fullback again chimes in. Now, St John's have the football 10 metres out. They've had, in comparison, really scant possession. And, of course, the player was offside, I should say. And he thought he was onside, but far from. So, again, some smart footy from Hato Petala as they get themselves set. The idea of the kick too was pretty smart also.
Yeah, that was Brandon Parker putting it on the toe to who else? A tall, speedy fullback and Jack.
Jack the fullback.
Lucky.
Good on you, Jack. Yeah, he's everywhere, isn't he, that bloke? Wonderful to have you with us.
For sure. Big mihi to local Gecko Productions, Alex, Juan and Mike and the crew.
Yeah, indeed. And to Rob Waddell and the team bringing rangatahi sport to our screens in ways that just has never occurred before. So, Hiana kia koutou. Yeah, of course, here's the big number 8 now. What are we going to see here from St John's? This is the bloke who popped the pass earlier.
Nice little
lovely play.
Yeah,
beautiful double around as well there. So it's George Edwards-Heaney who ultimately is the benefactor. Right. Yeah, well, that's what you expect from the guys on the side of the scrum.
Taua hononga I Whanganui te kaumawhitu. Ara ko Joshua Aukuso. Me tana hoa haere George Edwards-Heaney.
Yeah.
Kei runga noa tu ara.
Aukuso here. And again, just a very strong, tough carry. But Edwards-Heaney, he had to be in position and was.
The benefit of quite a nice offload, take the ball in and mahue te kiki.
Right. So 43-14. Not dissimilar to that first half as well, where we saw an early start. 37 minutes gone, 70-minute games, as Moihan mentioned to you. Really looking forward, though, to covering some of these schools, many of whom, to be honest, I haven't seen play. So it's great to celebrate with them. Teams like Francis Douglas Memorial College, as Moihan mentioned, we've got Wesley in the mix. Matamata is there as well, Whanganui Collegiate. So teams, we have been covering the Super 8 on Whakata Māori across the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, we've been bringing you coverage of the Super 8. Also, CNI, also plenty of, I think there's roughly 84 games of secondary school rugby bringing you youth sport on Whakata Māori, MāORI Plus.
Yeah, some of them are just one camera shoots, but you know, if you want to just keep an eye on your squads through Whakata Māori and the YouTube channels and the like, just doing their best, our best, to keep you abreast of what's happening in rangatahi sport. And again, the St Peter's team look like they're up for it today. This will build confidence hugely for them and their coach Perry. As we see numbers down the left edge, and now a little flamboyance that's coming in as well. And why wouldn't it? The scoreline of 43-14, it really can give you license to be quite expansive in the way that you play the game. And normally when you're under some pressure and expected to have a disciplined approach, now that you can look up at the scoreline and recognise that there are opportunities, don't be surprised if these young guys in the sky blue let the ball rip and send it wide. You know, the territory battle absolutely in favour of St Peter's, and the time in possession likewise.
Ko te rua te kau tēnei, hawhi peke tuarua ko whai wahi mai ki te whira. Ko ai tērā, ara ko Riley Brotherton tēnei.
Easy to pick, Riley in the orange headgear. Kia ora ki tana whānau, Riley Brotherton into the mix as well. And also got 19 in there, Xavier Martin. He's on the side facing us as we speak from the commentary position today. There's an old quail rugged up, so it might not be too much wind, but there's a bit of a chill factor still in the air. 43-14, 40 minutes gone. St John's need the football as we see Brotherton coming in to feed the scrum.
Next week St John's have got St Paul's Collegiate, and St Peter's of Cambridge are taking on Francis Douglas Memorial College. Also got some midweek games too, tātou mā. Tūhono mai ki ngā whakapāhotanga, some on Wednesdays and Thursdays. As Dale mentioned, keep in contact with our MāORI Plus YouTube channel. Kei reira katoa ngā whakapāhotanga.
Again, St Peter's get another opportunity to put a bit of swagger into their games. at the moment, kicking on the far side of the field. Wonderful to celebrate the efforts, though, of these young men. And, of course, Wahine playing in great numbers as well. Rugby. And pleasure to be part of the coverage once again this year.
Yep, big weekend of sport for sure. Our AFC team got up and they're into the football final.
Wasn't that
3 points to
yeah,
love.
I saw that against Adelaide.
Magic round in Brisbane, and Super Rugby certainly in full swing as well.
Yeah, of course, plenty of sport to enjoy. But this is where you get the rangatahi sport now. Ora mai anō, te whakata Māori. Rawe, te mahi, ngā tamato o ngā kora. Short side play. But the defence here for St Peters has been rock solid here today.
Mo te roa ngāke te o, te roa ngāke o te kēmu, whapera te pakari.
You know, it's been rock solid. They have conceded 2 tries, one of them an intercept. You can't doubt this guy's commitment. He's been very strong for Liami Vea. Trying to tahai the football and rip away with it. Like your sons who want to hoist your shoes. I'd have to find it. So just a little bit of breathing space here. And Corbin Pui with the kick to the far side of the field. And one of the medics coming on just to tend to some of St John's College in Hiratonga to one of their players, perhaps just a little bit inconvenience. That's what's going on there in the background. Once again, acknowledging Bailey's and their contribution to filming and covering the contest. I'm disappointed too because one of my faves out there today is this man going off, Viliami.
Yeah, pakaru tana poko whiwhi te āhua nei. O puku mahi te poira, tana hikaka hoki ki te whanga i te paoro. Ne? Aha ko tana rahi he pukenga ona, anone he peke e pau muri. Been impressed with his effort. Certainly got confidence with the ball as well as Mr. Vea.
Yeah, he did as much as he could. Sort of gave him some solidity. Tap back this time is good for Hakohone. Just a little bit, yeah. Well, opportunities arise, you've got to take them with both hands, and at the moment, I think it's just not going as they would have liked for the host team.
Difficult to stop. This is Okuso.
And, plenty of reserves on. The 10 has been good today and very strong. Double around, might even end up with it again. That one's been knocked on and come back for St John's. We'll get the scrum feed. So it's a little bit of a flat patch here at the moment. And the scoreline, as you can see, well and truly in front. And some subs coming in. Let's have another look here.
Subs, that was a knock back there. I think just the second wrap wasn't expected.
Yeah, I think it's just sort of bounced off Miller. Might have got a hand to it. Anyway, what it does end up with Brotherton to feed the scrum here. St John's, look at the push here from St Peters too. They're full of intent here this afternoon. They've travelled. They've spoken about what they needed to do, and they've done it really right from the get-go. It's been a solid performance from the boys from the Waikato.
That was a better crash ball.
And their defensive work has been really solid as well. You know, when they've been under a bit of pressure, the defensive efforts have been wonderful, and you know, commitment to the tackle has been impressive as well. As they have a look down the left edge here. Let's see once again. See how the St Peters boys move across. They've got the numbers, they've got the confidence in each other to set their lines. That's a grunting and bumping run here too from Weston to Fatey, who's into the mix. It's him in 18.
Couldn't help himself there. Testing the referee, mehemea. E tae ana te whanako I ngā heki mai te kohanga. Robbing the nest, but too eager.
Yes. Well, it's a hands in the till, but...
Well, in the cookie jar.
Who got the cookies from the cookie jar, indeed. I think it was number 3.
Did a quick Google on famous people out of Hawke's Bay. Israel Dad came up, Liam Nessim, Dina Lee, Ngahi Witamoana. Ngatika Hununu, leader and composer.
Oh, he's a real character, Ngahiwi. A good man as well. But, yeah. Dinah Lee, come on and do the blue beat. Anyway, that's getting way back.
Well, and out of Cambridge, Mahe Drysdale, Sarah Olmer, Mark Todd. Cambridge, really the town of champs. Olympic gold medalists seem to grow on trees there.
Thank you for that interesting information. Yeah, tama, tēnā koe, moi hai. Righto, St John's. They have the football. They're down plenty, but can they rally and get a couple of tries in? Just to feel a bit better about their day's work here hosting St Peter's. They've come with intent and have built up a head of steam, and at the moment they're really well and truly in control. The tackle was there, and I thought that wide the tackle was appropriate, but the referee's going to drag us right back into centre field. St John's with it. Is considering the next move. Opting to put it into touch and try their hand by utilising the line out close to the line. There's the kick. Well, they're in good field position here. But we know that St Peter's have snaffled the ball from the line out a couple of times. We'll just wait and see whether or not St John's, the home team, can control the ball here in the line out, just 5 metres out from the try line.
Well, we're certainly acknowledging the relationship between Aotearoa and the Crown with St Peter and St John's, as the Māori Queen is over at the meeting King Charles at the moment, isn't she, Dale?
Yes, she has been. And, you know,
I see also
what an opportunity for Charles.
Taking Māori leadership to the world stage.
Fair enough.
Young entrepreneurs got to go with her as well, seen online.
Oh, well, people are everywhere. Same with our kids here. They would have grown up understanding the Māori dynamic. You can't go through New Zealand secondary schools without. And, great to see. Here we are. Atuhone, St John's, Matamata. 5 metres out from the try line, down plenty on the scoreline, but wanting to do well here in this play. As the boys muscle up and put a wall of Atuhone. Look at that. That's a good image, isn't it? That's football personified. That's rugby at its best. Little step, then wide. Still with Atuhone. Back into the traffic. St Peter's defenders are there as well. From the base of the scrum comes Brotherton. Still alive. Riley Brotherton just trying to get his boys across the line. They're desperate to get another try. They'd love to get it converted as well and get over 20 points. 43-14. Still with Hone, who have the football. Back into the middle. St Peter's boys are defending strongly their first 15. You've got to take your hat off to the tenacity being shown on defence as Brotherton looks down the left edge this time, holding up the pass and finding himself in some trouble. Corbin Pui looking for the tap. That's Pui, has the football, then sends it out wide and driven towards the touchline. Then managing to hold it back, and there's the football. Who can come up with it? It's still with St John's, driven towards the touchline and lifted and driven into ground. The referee will be having a decent... John still have possession, continuing on. 5 metres out from the line. This is still a good chance as Brotherton gets the ball out, sends it on nicely onto Tefaiti. But the defence keeping on from St Peter's as they roll their way forward, and another penalty for Atuhone.
Yeah, they're lucky to maintain position there, Dale. It seems like the forwards are lining up for the crash rather than doing the work in the ruck and in the maul. However, going back to the penalty there where the Kaiwawao indicates that he hit te rutu above the horizontal.
Yeah,
yeah, nearly being counteract with St. Peter's dominant at those stages of the game,
Sorry,
those moments.
Yeah, there was some concern there as we saw the lifting as well. Now to ground goes Smith. Has he been able to maintain possession? Yes, they have. St. John's just want to hold on to this football. Brotherton is there. Where are the big men? Needing numbers. That's still the stoic defence on display from St. Peter's is holding them in good stead. Tato Horner driving forward, looking to rip the ball away. Here's St. Peter's. Again, Brotherton. And again, it comes back to the forward play, looking up through the middle. Have they still maintained possession? Yes, they have. Phase after phase at the moment. Standing and then reaching over to collect the football, but it will be another penalty, and wouldn't be surprised if there's a card as well. This is
no
penalty.
mai te kari.
After penalty.
Te rape he kari kōwhai. He whakatūpatote. It's a bit of a warning. So we look for some subs.
Again, you've got to pay tribute and respect to the tenacity of the defence. Really, their structures have been excellent, and they've muscled up together when there's been a threat. You know, they're winning the contact areas at the moment. The boys with the 43-14 advantage. So it's been big collisions up through the middle, but they've been plenty tough today. The lads from St. Peter's, their coach will be pretty pleased with where they're at the moment. It's Coach Carl Perry. But their defence is to be tested yet again. So, here they come. St. John's looking for try number 3 on the board. They've had possession for the last 5 minutes, but just haven't been able to crack the defensive line. Will it come this time? It's a cheer from the sideline, so we are assuming that has been achieved. And jumping up with the ball is Carlisle Paniani and number 16. And 43 points to 19 the scoreline. Now let's get another look at it there, Moiha.
Great effort in the line out here. Pupuri ana I te pauro. Kei reira te kauma ono. Ko te painga ke atu I haere takirua. Ara, takirua. As a duo. He's happy. Whiua te pauro ki ngā rangi. It's very important that the discipline is crucial at this stage, and the referee's patience is certainly running thin. However, St. John's of Hastings stayed composed and got the goods.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they could have hung their head in that second half going into the break with such a scoreline, but they haven't. That's what I mean. You know, you've got to be conscious of building to be better next week. That's the aim of all teams, and I'm pretty sure their coach Aaron will be okay with things. Now, with this conversion, 43-21 sounds a lot better, doesn't it, than 43-12 or 43-14. So here we go. It's a difficult conversion, but he strikes it nicely, and that one is just drifted away. It goes across the face of the uprights. 43 points to 19 as we get another look here. Coming in late on the play too is the eventual try scorer that you can see him there. Then picks up the ball and just drives low into the legs of the St. Peter's defenders.
He has to mihi to his mates, Manaia Hokinga Whaalele. There's a kupu in te reo Māori being said, and that's piri pāua. That's your best mate. Piri to connect and power, you know what the power is, the abalone.
Yeah,
and if someone's your hoa piri power, that's your best mate. And so Hokianga Whaalele jumping on to Western, onto Kale Paniani, like that of a paua. You're my hoa piri power there, D-man.
Tama Paua is the sons that never leave home, isn't it? Anyway, it's a great celebration here that we're witnessing today. Still plenty to go though. We've got 16 odd minutes. And again, look at this. So
fully
straightforward. And Okuso, he's been great coming off the bench here for St. Peter's.
Yeah, why would you have him on the bench?
No, because when he comes on, he just hits the mark. He's a guy with genuine size. This bounce has just been perfect for him, though. And, well, he didn't seem like he had a lot to do. It's one of those golden bounces that kicks it out to 48-19.
Karahiaha Kiaia, light work. Didn't even celebrate.
Let's have another look at the teams that will make up the lineup as we head forward. As Moiho mentioned, there's a number of midweek games. They'll be up on the MāORI Plus and Whakaata Māori YouTube channels. And just acknowledging again the teams, if you've just joined us, this is the CNI, the Central North Island Secondary Schools competition, playing for the Tane Randall Cup and featuring Feilding High School, Francis Douglas Memorial College. There's Lindisfarne as well. I think that's where Tane attended. Matamata, St John's, who are in there as well. We've got St John's in the Hawke's Bay and also St John's in Hamilton. St Peter's School, Wesley College is in this competition as well. And St Paul's Collegiate School plus Whanganui Collegiate School. So proud kura and a tough road to be the victors. You've got to dispose of the other 9 schools. At the moment, we're into week number 3.
Ana ko St Peter's nei noho ana ki te tihi o te tepu, te tihi o te maunga, koa ko te rauna tuatoru noiho tēnei, ngari e rua ngā wikitoria-tanga. Ka rua ko St Paul's, ka toru ko Feilding, ka whā ko FDMC. St John's of Hastings, kei te whiore o te tepu I tēnei wā.
Yeah, I was just searching for their first win, but they're doing their best, and that's all we can ask for. Sometimes down on size, down on experience, but that's why being in the competition is so important for the growth of the code within the schools, even though sometimes you don't have the personnel and the experience, I suppose, to challenge it with the high-flying kura, Hoiano. They haven't stopped trying. 50 points to 19 now. It's becoming a big scoreline as the ball comes back on the inside for Hataohone. Just on 14 or so minutes to play. Centre field. And not releasing the football there. So it will be St Peter's again with the footy. Looking back over some of their strong performers, I've been really impressed too with Mana and Miller, Moores earlier on. But of course with the scoreline like this, been able to use a lot of the interchange bench also. Atohone have the ball, or I thought had it. It's been nicely secured by Luke Galloway. And St Peter's will have the football, and they'll be looking to put another exclamation on a mark on this as Mitchell DeLuca Oliveira puts the ball down, or there's a little bit of push and shove, but I suppose this happens in rangatahi sport as well. Nothing untoward, no blood drawn, and box on, as the saying goes. That's Luka Miller kicking to the far side of the field, and now mounting another challenge in Moiho. Another dangerous opportunity, well, another good opportunity, I should say, for St Peter's, but a dangerous situation here for the host team.
Yeah, with just over 17 or so, what are we up to, 60th minute mark, aren't we, Dale?
Yeah, coming up this. Do the math.
Still
mate.
plenty of time, right?
Do the math. Can you count that one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. What did you come up with?
12 minutes, is it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. Oh, it's 35 and a halves. Rogie.
Yeah. So here we go. St Peter's on the boil again. The boys coming through. Look out. Look out, St John's. The boys are coming to town again. And it comes to the number 8. Grinding, sliding into the hole. That's Kobe Trey Ross. Good play here. Continuing on through Ollie Barnes. Barnes is close to the line. The 20's taken down Zeke Clark. Zeke. I'm saying Zeke, it'd probably be Zeke. I guess. Is it yet another try? That's the situation here. So they're getting plenty of them at the moment. Everyone's in the scoring action. We'll get another look at that jersey in a moment, but pretty satisfying. There's the 5, getting it back. Yes, that's Zeke Clark there.
Koe te rua te kau.
Clark is back on the
Te kau
inside.
mātoru there, Dale.
Okay.
Koe te kau mātoru.
Oh.
Cruz Mara.
Yeah. Well, he's had a good game today, Cruz.
So in case seeing old Joshua Okusov going in and playing halfback, seeing that there was an overlap out wide.
Just do what you can for your team when they are in trouble. Big scoreline. I guess it started off and it'll be disheartening here for St. John's. And from out wide raising the flag, so good to the boot as well. 57-19. A whacking big scoreline here for St. Peter's out of Cambridge. Up against St. John's College from Hastings. There's your try scorer. Nice work as well for young Cruz. Cruz Mara. And it wouldn't be in too much of a hurry to get out and have a look again. Other schools with success. Feilding High School, they've only played the one game, but they were successful there. We're just looking at the draws and results. Last weekend, of course, some big score lines as well. St. Peter's Cambridge, 49-5 winners over Whanganui Collegiate. So they know to get to the line, and they've got some good attacking players. The closest game really was a 29-27 win from Wesley when they played Lindisfarne last week. Just really going through the motions here at the back end of this one as we count it down, but the solid work done early in the match. Plenty of good players to look forward to and the coverage of going forward as well. Guys like Parker and Gianfalati, Moores, Harvey, Powell, that's for St. Peter's. Likewise, across St. John's, we've still got some good players to look out for the rest of the season. But once again, St. Peter's come a corner as Okuso gets hold of the ball and manages to pop a pass close to the line as the 5 gets razor sharp close, and then, well, leaning over to pick it up. Thought he was on his feet and all was okay, but the referee says no thanks to Isaac Tafiti. And understandably, St. Peter's, well, not taking the 3 points and wanting to add even more as they kick it towards the broadcast side of the track here at St. John's.
Yeah, the scoreline doesn't really reflect the outstanding effort from both schools. Schoolboy Rugby is certainly alive and thriving here in the Te Puku o Te Ika Māori.
Yeah, kia ora.
Huge credit to both teams, coaches and whānau.
I think they're just trying to refine some aspects of their line-out work. Here is the throw-in from James Powell. But just hold up slightly. Well, get on with it. And the referee instead turns his attention and penalty to the home squad. Yes, some young players in St. John's in defence of where they are at the moment.
Yeah, te hanga nei he tuakana ki te teina.
JP, you're
more. Looking a lot more sizey and older.
Just about to get in for the line out. Just over 6 minutes to play here. 57 points to 19. I started listing all the try scorers, but then there were too many and I ran out of page to write them. But suffice to say, congratulations to all. It's been a solid team performance. And like I say, their coach, Carl Perry, would be pretty pleased with where things are at.
Yeah, the first line-out era there. They had the ability to steal and read the opposition's line-outs, which was awesome.
The main thing is that these young guys are out having a go, and as the saying goes, you know, kids in sport have started court, and you know, the friendships you make by playing in these sorts of teams are lifelong friendships. So I think sometimes when we look at sport, we undervalue or we understate the importance of how sport is such an important part of our whāriki of our communities. So these young guys have lifelong friends, and they challenge themselves. You win some, you lose some, but isn't that life? And so it's just great to get a chance to celebrate and acknowledge rangatahi sport, and big ups to Whakata Māori for recognising that with their strategy of bringing these rangatahi games, multiple codes, to our screen, so we each get a chance to enjoy the efforts of our leaders of today and tomorrow. Once again, it's Corbin Pui who will kick towards our broadcast touchline. And hopefully it finds touch. Well, that was an interesting move. As you see, caught it on the full and then delivered it in as another beautiful run. Is going to be just too good too. That's Cruz Mara, and he has been everywhere today. Yeah, one to watch without doubt, and he contributes strongly to Ato Petera's efforts today. Have another look at this.
O kei tana ingoa kētei o te wairua o tana tākaro. Hea hau ki tērā. Kei te whai tērā, ka hore rānei. Oh, well, kei te nupepa I nāi nei.
You can read it tomorrow, says Moiho. Lovely run here from Cruz Mara. He's been excellent, great build too.
Did I just see that though? Was that in or was that out? Oh, well.
Oh, well, there we go.
Turn back time, mate.
I liked it, so I didn't want to say too much. I just thought it was pretty clever. Can we have another look at that? Is there any chance?
Yes, please, Alex.
Now, so he leaps into the air,
but he's already out of.
This is Corbin Pui, but he was already out. I'm picking because.
I think if he landed in the field of play and then passed, hard to get.
It looked like he had jumped out of the grandstand.
Put me on, coach.
Anyway, that'll be okay with the home team.
That'll be on the TikTok tonight. 100%.
The defence has been solid today. Hats off. Hasn't been a lot of tactical kicking through the course of the game. There hasn't needed to be. But there's been some slick passing in the open spaces here today from Ato Petera. And the acceleration that we've seen as some of their centre fielders hit the line has been really impressive as well. That's resulted in the scoreline that we're witnessing at the moment. They've been playing with a lot of width and a lot of confidence right from the get-go. And it's something to enjoy about their prospects going forward.
Yeah, there's certainly been plenty of space out wide in the second half. It's very dangerous. But I've been very impressed with the great ball movement from both the forwards and the backs. It's exciting secondary schools rugby, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And some names to keep an eye on. I've loved the contribution of our big men in there. And, of course, we know that a lot of the platform Okuso has been good.
Who've been off early.
I agree. Yep. And so these guys have got, work to do and momentum to encourage alongside their teammates. Really like the way too that both coaches have utilised their bench today when it was quite obvious that it was going to be a Ato Petera victory. They started to roll in the replacements, as did Aaron Good with the home team. 57-19 as the ball is taken from the back by Brotherton. And let's see if there's a decent chase on here as Corbin Pui puts it up. He's been dangerous all game, this man. The Furupeke in 15, Jack.
Hawhipeke, Furupeke.
Well, he's been all over the place. He's had a wonderful contribution. But, the boys in the engine room have worked really strongly today for our boys from Cambridge, St Peters. And as we count down towards full time, they'll be well satisfied with their work. Remember, just after 5 minutes, they were up 12-0 and then conceding a try. But then the fullback with that scything run. So, within the first 7 or 8, met by 17-7. So they've been well in control. St Peters from Cambridge and St John's, the home team here from Minnetonga, whilst defeated today they'll be back and looking to improve in their outing next week. Nice to see Xavier Martin there on the side. He's only a young fella, but you've got to blood them in as well. Some of these schools, when you number up the amount of students there, well and truly eclipsed by some of the bigger schools. So there will be some blowouts from time to time. Brotherton just wrestling here with the 16, which is Harrison Ellis, I think, is it? Now, the skip ball ends up in the hands of the visitors, and that won't please Coach Good too much. Had a chance to send it through the hands and keep it tight. The rumbling. Okuso takes 2 or 3 to put him away. And ultimately, they'll still maintain possession on the far side of the field. This is Cruz Mutto, who's had a great game today. And Cruz lays it back nicely, looking for his teammates who want to keep the roll on. And that's exactly what happens here. Don't write off another try, even though there's not too many minutes left. Coming out wide, stepping on the inside, and another beauty. Through goes Kian Falahati. He's been there all game, but we haven't called his name too often because others have been the try-scoring personnel.
Ko wai te kaifanga I te pauro. Ana ko Okuso anō tērā.
Yeah.
Have a look at the short ball.
Yep, lovely from Okuso.
And try assist tip on.
And Falahati stepping back on the inside. Corbin Pui was not well positioned to make that tackle, no fault of his own.
Prawa me te pata, Dale. Prawa me te pata.
Yeah, the bread and butter played. As we see the conversion here. A solid outing today. Again, St. Peter's College out of Cambridge, and this too good with a big win over the home team today, St. John's 64-19, and Moiho, a solid performance, and looking forward to watching how their tournament rolls out in the weeks ahead.
Ai, taunakitanga tēnei Dale, hea te take kei te tihi o te tepu a St. Peter's College no roto mai a Cambridge, ki tēnei whakataitai CNI tātou mā. Oe no, me whakairi te ke te kōrero ki ngā pātū o tēnei whare.
Great to have you with us today, and really want to acknowledge Whakaata Māori. Here's some of the highlights from today's action. 64-19 scoreline. It has been a pleasure bringing it to you today. And we look forward to your company next time around as well, here on the home of Rangatahi Sports. Whakaata Māori, some sensational efforts from our Rangatahi today.
I think this coach was covered over last year, I'm not sure. What is that class? What is that about this parade? One went up the first half of rugby, and then 17, and it looks like they've moved one player from another position.
Koera e te hi tino wāhanga o te kemu. Wai ngā kapa e rua, huia te kaitākoro o te rā ki taku nei te tiro. Tikana kia mihi a ngā kapa e rua. As we look at this highlight, certainly didn't make the reel. Woohoo!
I really like the inclusion of Okuso. He has looked good today. And as you can see, even though it was a big gap between the two teams on the scoreboard, there's much camaraderie and whakawhananga that exists between those who play in the CNI competition. Here are the statistical highlights. And as you can see, territorial hugely in favour of the visitors from Cambridge. Possession likewise. And of course, lineouts whilst square. Ultimately, it was those line breaks that resulted in what was a wonderful scoreline. And again, a pleasure to have you with us today. I hope you enjoyed it enough to join us next time. From me, Dale, and from him, Moiho. Thanks so much for joining us. And big ups to Whakaata Māori's continued coverage of the CNI in 2026. From Hastings today, Mauri ora kia tātou, we bid you farewell.